Thank you so much for this introduction. That's many fancy words, and actually I want to show that we don't need that many words. We want to visualize data. So thank you for having me. Big fan of the previous speakers and panelists. I think it's a very diverse audience and speakers list, and we all have something in common, which is data, I think. And today I will show you how we can how you can empower your data through visualization. So this is for business analytics, but just science communication in general. My talk will have 3 sections, just a quick intro about my background. The first part will be to show about the necessity of data visualization and why it's so key for business and analytics. The second part will be about the crazy developments on large language models and how everyone can now use large language models for analysis and visualization. And the third part is maybe the most fun part, is the 3D visualizations, where you can go beyond stereotypical bar charts and reach the artsy side of things. So my background, as you can tell, I have multiple hats. I'm a founding Geo-Spatial engineer at Sky AI. We're building something. I can't reveal too much yet. I'm a researcher at UCL, and I do freelance work in data science and visualization and 3D. So enough about me, but that's my background on economics. Sorry about the long list. But let me start the whole thing with one reputable source, or a really fantastic quote. No one ever made a decision because of a number. They need a story. This was said by Nobel Prize laureate Daniel Kahneman. So no one changed their mind because of an average. They need the whole story from where it started and where it's now. That's just one example. Now, you obviously know what data visualization is. I like to present it this way. There's the data blob, the art blob, and the communication blob. And we are interested in the data intersection here. The data blob has the science, the research, etc. The art is the beauty, creativity, and then the communication is just reports, for example. My definition of data visualization is an image that has one ingredient. At least it's an image that has one ingredient, which is also data. And there are intersections that we are not interested today, but are very interesting in general. And the whole point of this is to make things memorable and summarize complex things. So obviously, I turned this into something delicious so that you will remember it. This was made with generative AI. And don't forget, data visualization is also maps. Maps are visual things, and we are spatial beings. Now, switching hands now. I like to see the spectrum of data visualization like this. So there's on the left side is for analysis. So your team, your business, yourself, your data citizen, you analyze things and visualize things for yourself, for your team, to convince yourself. Then there is the data for communication. That's for explaining to an audience like today, for your business to convince your customers. So that's an audience. This is to prove a point, to share your insights. And then on the right side, actually on the left, it's data art. This is for yourself, for an audience, and we will show a bit of this side as well. let's begin with an example from the right-hand side for analysis. You probably know that, whoops, descriptive statistics are often not enough. So all these data points have the same averages, the same correlations, the same standard deviations. And if you don't visualize it earlier, you miss the dinosaur. So please, please tell your teams, tell yourself, plot the data. Just an average is not enough. Even the correlation, which is already fancy, all these distributions, data points have the same descriptive statistics. Remember, Datasaurus. Now, for the communication side of things, I like this formula, which explains very clearly bad data plus good analysis, good communication, we get wrong results. If we have excellent data, bad analysis, good communication, we get wrong results. Now the sad bit. We have excellent analysis, excellent data, but we have the bad communication. We get weak or no results. I've been in this case with companies doing research or projects, amazing team, amazing everything, bad communication. No one sees it. No one sees it. So this is what we are looking at. This is what we're aiming for. Good data, good analysis, good data visualization. Okay, data as a building block. So this is again our ingredient. Everyone loves Legos. I love Legos. That's why I like to do it this way. So all these steps require a brain or an artificial brain. And it's actually really difficult to visualize something, create dashboards that are actually actionable, where the CEO says, okay, I saw this, now we do this. So many dashboards are useless, sadly. If you have a good dashboard, come see me and show me. And so all this, let me read it out. So this is presented visually as a story, as a cute house. And now interactivity is also very key, as I will show later. And this is now reaching AI levels of actionable things. But now, large language models will help us in each step of this chain. I'm not talking here about writing or summarizing text or the ethics behind large language models. I'm here as a data scientist, business analyst, and using code. And it's a bit different with code. We can easily copy-paste without someone being too much hurt. This is the second bit now. How can we as businesses, as researchers, as analysts, as CEO use large language models to quickly prototype things? Because, or make things prettier, clearer, for example. I do research for UCL and see, read economic papers and business papers and articles which have terrible, terrible charts. You don't want to spend a minute on them. So can we make data and insights tastier? I think yes. And I'm trying to prove it, by the way. So what is a common thing in business reports that are 20 pages long that try to summarize something super interesting, but it's just a long list of facts? We don't have time to go through this today, but this is a really fascinating question, for business question or health question. Do road accidents in London have temporal patterns? You will probably say yes. And we have all this list here. But it's too tiny, you cannot read it, and we don't have time. So we can look at this visualization that was made programmatically with open source. This was with R, so this is free. No one paid me to do this. I was a student, a citizen, and I could visualize open data from the government, 250,000 accidents, and to try to answer the question, do road accidents have temporal patterns? And we are good we are humans, we are good at identifying patterns. So what is happening here? You obviously know, oh sorry, maybe I still have to explain this chart. So we have time of the day in vertical and month of the year over here. And this is in red is more accidents, blue is few accidents. We see those gaps. What's going on? Obviously, school holidays, what happens here in Christmas. Actually, I could speak for 30 minutes on just this plot describing patterns. So in Christmas, very few accidents. Then we have here, for example, summer, increasing deep accidents for fun times and alcohol driving probably. Here in November, there's a peak when days are darker and it rains. So I can go on forever. But this is one image that speaks more than 1,000 words or a whole paragraph. Now, how much effort does go into all these data-driven workflows? Is it 1/3 data cleaning, 1/3 analysis, 1/3 communication? No. Is the perception, I think the perception of non-analysts is probably, oh yeah, analysis 70% is done the analysis, 10% we just get the data in, hop, transform it, and analyze it, and then we spend so much time analyzing it that we have 2 days to communicate it. So that's probably the perception. From my experience, it's rather a 50% data cleaning, transforming, etc. Then we have 40% analysis. And what remains for visualization and communication? Not much. So what I'm trying to show here is that from my experience now in the past 1.5 years, 2 years with large language models, is that the data cleaning side is way quicker, at least in the projects I'm working on. So I'm hoping that we're reducing the iceberg of data, that we have more time for analysis and more time for communication and visualization. Again, free tools, open source tools. I've built my career on top of free tools and open source tools that have a community that shares insights, everything. So we have these tools here, and now we have the large language models that can be, every week there's a new one that is better than the previous one, and open source is catching up with closed sources. And then you have your native language to work with. So I'm trying to show that we can now do way quicker prototyping. You have an idea, you can test it. So faster, so we are smarter, better, faster, stronger with assisted research, analysis, business analytics, simplification of complex tasks, quicker writing and summarizing, debugging, correcting, optimizing. And I have to breathe. So how can I prove it to you? So this is an example. I told create an interactive web map with hotels, pubs, bars, restaurants, from OpenStreetMap, each hotel, each hotel, find the closest 5 amenities, highlight them, and connect them to the hotel when the hotel is selected. Make base map option to be satellite. The user interface should be clean and tidy. The colors should be amenity type. Hotels should be red. Make sure the app is efficient. So this, anyone here can do this, type it, and run it. This is accelerated like 3 times. But you will see. Now we have Heathrow here, an interactive app. We are sitting literally here. So if you need ideas for a hotel, restaurant, bar next to the conference room, you will know now here. So this literally took 4 minutes or something like that to prototype something and get business insights. Now, this is also the case for just a simple spreadsheet of your business, your company. We don't need spreadsheets that are boring with tables, or even worse, a text. What did I do here? So I put the spreadsheet, I said to Gemini, kindly create an interactive data visualization of my company's employees and their hierarchy. Make it radial, the data is attached. And now we have a vision of your whole company. This was 3 minutes. Something like this used to take a couple of days. If it was an actual app, a year ago it would have taken me a week, and now it's accelerating. We still need the knowledge, but now you know that you can do this type of thing. What else? This was also to prove that visualizations in business and in all domains often require interactivity, because we have thousands of clients, thousands of products, millions of humans, and you need interactivity because you cannot summarize your whole business in one chart. And this is one example that helped me as a non-medical expert to work with the most complex data I've ever worked on, which is on human plasma proteome beyond the genome. Like, I was able to develop this thanks to large language models as assistants. And here you need, this is literally thousands of genes, you need interactivity. So now the most fun part, or the most cool part. How can we stand out with visualization of our own data, of our business, of our research? How to communicate this with an audience, now that everyone has a 6-second attention span? I don't have the answer, but I can give you some advice. So this is, you can do unusual visualizations. So this is a cartogram, which is a kind of a mix of a map and a chart. And this is animated. So if you want to see the end, you have to stay for more than 6 seconds. That may be too easy. Here again, do we need the 3D effect? Not at all. We don't need this. Is it pretty? Is it still useful? I think yes. Now, we can go way more extreme with visualizations. You might have heard of something, there's nothing more dramatic than a fire and the Great Fire of London. So, me as a curious person thought, can we bring this data from the past into the present? Because users, it's hard to identify with an old map and see the scale. And this concerns also your business. You have to put it into reality of whatever you're working on. And I thought, this is too far in the past, let's bring it into the present. So I took open source data of London in 3D, where people can recognize the Shard, Tower Bridge, the tower, and made a super dramatic Great Fire of London visualization with the wall behind it and highlighting all the landmarks. This might be too dramatic for some, so let's keep it real and use Google's 3D data of the city of London. And so this map resonated with many people and reached beyond 6 seconds of attention and went viral a couple of times, reached the Time Out magazine, and other platforms reacted a lot around it. So this is very extreme visualization of data, but you can do it. It's open source. It's open and free. Can we go one step further? You'll be thinking, what can be more dramatic than that? So I looked into, you probably won't guess what this is, but this is restaurant density in Tokyo. If you're a business selling, interested in restaurants in a city, maybe you will like this one. So this is OpenStreetMap restaurant density. And I turned it into a ramen dish, where each point is a restaurant. This is the map of central Tokyo, and the X is the density of restaurants. And I've highlighted the neighborhoods in here. So this is my most creative visualization, which won some awards. But this is all open access data, open source things, and I can show you very briefly how I created this. So this is partly made programmatically with R, and then the later stages are made in Blender, which is free and open source, which I learned on YouTube. I don't know if I can go quicker. Anyway, this is data art, but it can be used in advertisement or education. I use it as an excuse to create art and to teach things I'm interested in. And yeah. So anyway, oh, I forgot I have this one. And you can go one step further and animate it. I animated this for a gallery, which makes it even more interesting with more. It actually has sound, but this actually is now an eternal loop. Wait for it. Which goes forever from the point of the restaurant to the dish, to the zoom out, to the map, etc. Okay, this is way beyond the normal visualizations you will encounter, but this talk was about empowering your data. So you can do this and empower your data. What's next? Oh no, another food visualization. I won't tell you what this is. I will let a large language model tell you what this is, because now you can use LLMs to read you very carefully maps and visualizations. So what is this? I didn't say, I just shared the image to ChatGPT. It's a creative, edible style map of France, rendered as a round, soft cheese wheel on a wooden board, laid atop a red and white checkered tablecloth, etc. So here I spilled red wine to form the wine regions of France on top of the cheese. Enough about food. This is 3D. So this is reaching quite photoreal levels of visualization. But now, generative AI, what do we do with that? I thought, let's experiment and extend this map. Let's put it in southern France, or on a terrace in Greece, or somewhere else. Or who spilled the glass? Maybe that cat spilled the glass. Or was it this one? I think it was this one. So, or someone just working remotely and having a good life, eating cheese. So this is pretty crazy. This is the most extreme thing you can do with data. It can become art, but I was trying to show you that we can go from a raw data point to some insightful visualization to the most extreme art with your data, open source and free. Yeah, so generative AI is incredibly exciting, but you're seeing the crazy videos and things. Society is changing, you have to adapt, and I just encourage people to get informed because this type of technology is now everywhere, and you should be aware how to use it, how to not misuse it, and all that. So what are the 3 takeaways out of this long list of visualizations? Point 1, analytics and data need visualization to communicate. You know reports that are 20 pages long and have 2 charts. Those are indigestible, you cannot remember what's in it, etc. Second point, open source and LLM are accelerating things for prototyping, for business insights, for everything. The third point, data tech and art are evolving, again, extremely quickly, so be aware. And generally, people only remember 3 things, but I wanted to add a 4th one, which is beautiful information is memorable and impactful. Thank you. Oh, there's... I didn't know there was sound. So I'm happy to answer question if we have time. With this New York Batman in the background. Or maybe we'll pick a different one. Gone. Okay. Please. ggplot is amazing.
Yeah, from my experience, I also love that spectrum you showed about the analytics, equal opportunity or something like that.
The pipeline. Where was it?
That one, no. So 2 more in front. 2 more in front. The one behind this one.
Oh, sorry.
The one results.
Sorry. So many animations. Yeah, this one.
Now, many times, the business, they're usually not that patient for you to do the great visualization, which
Yeah.
for me helps with the storytelling part of the data.
Mm-hmm.
And most times, they just want you to do the exploration, get to the analysis, give them the results, even if it's not in a really great dashboard. Right?
Yeah.
So, from your experience, of course, I see from what you've done, how much appreciation do you see on the visualization side? Because you have to be patient with those complex visualizations.
Yeah. So it's a really good point, and I mean I've been fighting basically all the time to spend more time visualizing the findings, but sometimes in business you really don't have time. But you have to know in advance before you start the whole process. Please, guys, let's save some time, or think already. We will need 1, 2, or 3 good visualizations summarizing things. So I think telling the team or your business or whatever, hey guys, we have to leave some time to visualize and explain things. Then the other point is, it depends how much is public facing, how many people see it. If 70 people see it, it's already worth way more. But if 1,000 people, if you publish it online, please spend, choose the right colors, be clear, make it good, and then maybe instead of 1,000, 20,000 people see it. It depends on your business, but even in the private sector where only 20 people see it, when it stays within the board, visualization is important. You have to convince the board within, or some C-level person, you have to convince that person within 5 minutes, make a good visualization, and it all depends on many conditions, but the most frustration thing is when you have spent months or a whole year on a report, doing hard research, gathering 50% of your time on the data gathering, and then you have 2 days, 3 or 1 week compared to 6 months of data wrangling and getting the data. I've witnessed that. So that's why this formula came up. Yeah. Thank you for the question.
One more thing. You said, show me a good dashboard and
yeah?
what do you, I mean, what's the point there? I'm sure you have a point there. Like, the dashboard doesn't tell all the story, right?
So dashboards, I used to be a huge fan of dashboards. Now I'm just a fan. Because the people have, first, it can be difficult. Now it's become easier to build dashboards, but it used to be quite time consuming. And then maybe you build it for someone and that person didn't use it. And that's really sad. So, but having someone who is a curious person who knows how to use that dashboard, like I build dashboards for myself, or I love good apps that have your data well. So if you know what to do with the dashboard and you use it, a good dashboard is a dashboard used. And that you have some actionable insights, like when you see, oh, this line crosses this, okay, we have to ring an alarm, or like have an action behind it. But please show me good dashboards. I want to see them. There are not that many, but I'm a big fan for exploration. Also, you can have a dashboard that's internal that you use. Like we are building dashboards for UCL for medical research. The team explore it. They're not yet public facing, but that's a exploratory tool. It's not like a public dashboard. It's an internal dashboard to explore the own data. R Shiny, the one I showed, yes, R Shiny, yeah, with R. Thank you.
Hi, what's your go-to LLM or tool to create those visualizations?
So all the 3D stuff is no LLM for now. I've been using ChatGPT now for 2 years, I think, every day. I've been using Gemini for the past 8 months. No, 10 months already. Gemini has picked up a lot. It was also accessible for students for free for a year. That was really cool. And Gemini, yeah, so Gemini. But this question you could ask me in 2 months, and I would have mentioned maybe 2 other models. But then there are some open source that are great, but and Claude AI is great for coding. One of the best coders I know uses Claude. Yeah. Thank you. Actually, I should have started with this question, but I was too excited. How many of you see visualizations every week, like data visualizations every week? So almost everyone sees a chart somewhere. How many of you make in Excel, PowerPoint every week? Every day. Good, good, good. And now maybe a trickier one. Has any one of you made maps? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 map. But you use some maps to come here. So you see maps often. So all this is data visualization, and actually it's easier than you think to create nowadays. So you should just experiment and test and become more data literate, and it's fun. Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? My background basically was in economics, but I thought actually that I was more interested in data. And so I did a master's in more data science things, but all along the line, I was also doing visualizations and graphic design until I learned how to code with R and noticed that I could visualize things programmatically, and that's where this happened. Yeah. So anyone can do it. More questions, or we're done then? Thank you so much.